All right, welcome to the viewers at home. Getting ready for the consolation final for third place. St. Pete's going up against Sacred Heart. Looks like we're going with one ref for this game. Starting up front, we have Ella on wing with Daisy and number 3, I don't know. Sacred Heart takes the face off in the zone. Shot on net, rebound. 2 big saves by Taylor. Ella comes away with the puck up to Daisy. Sacred Heart chips it into the St. Pete zone. Good work by Ella up to Daisy. Daisy up on a 2-on-1. Daisy back to Ella. Ella back to the point. Sacred Heart comes away with the puck on a 2-on-1. Moves in, shot, just goes wide. Ella on the forecheck. Puck's sent into the St. Pete zone. Nice play by number 17 there. St. Pete moves it up. Lola has the puck now. Lola enters the zone. Cuts to the net. Can't get the shot away. Good work by St. Pete's to keep it in. Shot by number 5. Goes wide into the corner. Taken away by Sacred Heart. Shot. Nice save by Taylor. Nice pass. Taken away by Sacred Heart. Lola now has it. Nice pass up to number 13. Sacred Heart chipped it down the ice, and that's icing. 39 minutes to go in the period. Face-off coming up in the Sacred Heart zone. Katie will take the draw out there. Face-off controlled by Sacred Heart. Move it up the ice. Shot hits the side of the net. And St. Pete's moves it out. Oh, nice play by Katie. St. Pete's moves it out into the neutral zone. Sacred Heart chips it back in. Addie has it now. Pass up to Katie. Katie moves it up. Sacred Heart fires it back in. St. Pete's collects it on the net. Swings it around the other side. Kept in at the point. Shot goes wide. Centering pass, so nice play by Taylor. Shot from the point, handled by Taylor to the corner. St. Pete's trying to get it out. Back to the point, L on the forecheck, puck's deflected, and St. Pete's chips it down the ice. And icing is the call. 37 and a half minutes to go in the period. No score. Daisy will be on the draw out there with Ella and Emma. St. Joe's has it behind the net for Sacred Heart, sorry. Daisy comes away with the puck. Nice play by Daisy. Gets it out. Sacred Heart puts it back in along the boards. Ella there to help out. St. Pete's can't get it out. Puck goes behind the net. Centering pass, shot. Saved by Taylor. Nice play by Daisy to clear the rebound. Daisy gives it up to Ella. Tip by Daisy, almost squeezed through. And the net's off for a whistle. Line change from St. Pete's. Lola's on the draw out there. Adia. Face off running, controlled by Lola. Back to Leah. Leah swings it around the boards. Bouncing puck. St. Pete's can't get it out. Shot goes right behind the net. Nice play by Leah to intercept that pass. Shot. Rebound. Goal by Sacred Heart. Taylor made the first save, but rebound was not good. 35 minutes to go in the period. St. Pete's down 1-0. There's Nora and Leah on defense out there with Lola, Aaliyah, and I believe Kira. Sacred Heart comes out with the puck, fires it in, blocked by the defenseman. Lola comes away with it. Lola's got some good speed, enters the zone. Puck battle in the corner. Sacred Heart comes away with it. Nice play by number 5. Pass swung around to number 8. Leah moves in, dumps it in. Sacred Heart first on the puck, swings it around behind the net. Nice pinch by Leah. Sacred Heart gets it out, moves up the ice. Around the defense shot. Oh, nice save by Taylor. Nice play by Katie to intercept the puck. Nice pass. Number 6 on the forecheck. Sacred Heart enters the zone. Centering pass back to the point. Shot through a screen. Block doesn't get through. Sacred Heart enters the zone. Up the middle, pass. Nice. 2 saves by Taylor. Sacred Heart still controls back to the point. One-time shot, blocked by Katie. St. Pete's moves it down the ice. Goalie plays it, so no icing. Sacred Heart moves up the ice. Shot. Handled nicely by Taylor. Holds on for a face-off. Just under 33 minutes to go in the period. Sacred Heart up 1-0. Daisy on the draw. Face-off 1 controlled by Sacred Heart. Shot from the point. Big rebound. Taylor made initial save again. Rebound was not good. Sacred Heart now up 2-0. Face off controlled by St. Pete's. They chip it into the Sacred Heart zone. Face off. Pass. Nobody there. Daisy has it now in the slot. Can't get the shot away. Taken down, no call on the play. Whistle for hand pass. Face off coming out in the neutral zone. Lola on the draw. Sacred Heart moves it up the ice. Can't control the pass. Taken away by Lola. Lola fires it in. Lola on the forecheck, battling behind the net. Sacred Heart comes away with it. This looks like their double A player. Moves in, cuts in front. Nice save by Taylor. Lola has the puck behind the net. Swings it around the boards. Kept in at the line. Up to number 13. Just over 30 minutes to go. Lola's going off. Looks like slashing is the call. St. Pete's going on the penalty kill. Lee on the draw. Puck goes back to the point. Sacred Heart shot to the point. Tipped wide. Defenseman moves in. Out to the corner. And the puck is out. Nice play. Oh, nice forecheck by Leah. Almost came away with it. St. Pete's fires it in. Leah on the forecheck. Sacred Heart moves it out. Sacred Heart still has the puck. Shot. Big rebound. Power play goal for Sacred Heart. Taylor continues to make the first save, but Sacred Heart scoring on all the rebounds. 29 minutes to go. St. Pete's down 3-0. Sacred Heart wins the draw, controls the play. Nice work on number 14. Nice forecheck by Leah. Sacred Heart moves it out. Passed up to Leah. Nice pass. Leah enters the zone. Cuts to the middle. Shot. Stick to the corner by the goal. Leah comes away with the rebound. Nice pass up front. Sacred Heart moves it out up the ice. Enters the zone. Taker. Nice save by Taylor. Taylor controls the puck, covers up for face-off. Face-off coming up to the left of Taylor. Daisy on the draw. St. Pete's moves it out. Number 3 moves it up to Ella. Ella carries it in. Can't send a shot away. St. Pete's defense. Nice pinch to Daisy. Daisy curls in the middle. Swings it to the corner. Centering pass hits the side of the net. Comes back to the point. Pass swung across. Intercepted by Sacred Heart. They bring it up the other way. Player cuts to the middle. Shot. Taken, intercepted by the defenseman. Moves it out. Shot down the ice. Icing is the call. 26 and a half minutes to go in the period. Score remains 3-0 Sacred Heart. Lola on the draw out there with Kira and Emma on forward. Leah on defense. Shot point goes wide. Sacred Heart controls the puck back to the point. Nice block. St. Pete comes away with the puck. Enters the zone. Number 8. Cuts to the middle. Can't get the shot away. And Sacred Heart shoots it down the ice on net, so Taylor has to play it. Taylor plays it to the boards. Sacred Heart takes over. Throws behind the net. Pass to the point. Good job by Taylor. Covers up for a face-off. Leah out there on the draw. Kept in at the line. Shot from the point. Nice save by Taylor. Face-off coming up again to the left of Taylor. Leah to take the draw. Puck comes back to the point. Sacred Heart shot blocked by number 14. St. Pete's can't get it out. Looked like it came out. Sacred Heart controls behind the net. Backhand pass the other side. Double A player with the puck. Leah comes away with it. Leah's going to get it out. Leah shot from the boards, goes behind the net. And 14 on the forecheck. Nice play. Shoots behind the net. Katie's got it. Shot. Bounces through. Goes wide. Centering pass. Nobody there. Sacred Heart carries it into the zone. Shot from the point. Pad saved by Taylor. He handles it nicely. Covers up for a face-off. About 23 and a half minutes to go in the first period. In the period. Daisy on the draw. Face-off won by Sacred Heart. Back to the point. Shot through a screen. Rebound. St. Pete's can't move it out. Number 12 on the puck, swings it around the other side. Sacred Heart keeps it in at the point. In the corner, shot, goes high and wide. Kept in, wrapped behind the net. Battle along the boards there. On it. Oh, come on. Tripping penalty coming up to St. Pete's. Ryan's going off 2 minutes for tripping. St. Pete's one back on the penalty kill. Lola to take the draw. Face off controlled by Sacred Heart back to the point. They move it around. Can't control the pass. St. Pete's swings it around the other side. Can't get it out. Shot from the point. Deflected, goes wide into the corner. Back to the point again. Sacred Heart swings it across here to the defenseman. Shot. Rebound. Nice save by Taylor. Puck's in the corner. Thrown back to the point. Sacred Heart keeps it in again. Shot. Blocked by Lola. Katie's going to come away with it. And nice play. Ices it down the ice. Nice forecheck. Oh, wraparound attempt by Lola. She almost put it in there. Katie has the puck now in her zone. Passes it up to number 13. Leah's there, and Leah shoots it in. Probably more than halfway through the penalty kill. The time's not put on the clock, so I'm not sure how much time is left. Sacred Heart enters the zone. Player cuts to the middle, shot. Nice save by Taylor. Sacred Heart controls it back to the point. Shot to the screen. Oh! Just over 20 minutes to go now. Sacred Heart up 4-0. Leah to take the draw. Out there with Aaliyah and Stella. Sacred Heart enters the zone. Nice play by Katie in the corner. Sacred Heart comes away with it behind the net. Back to the point. Nice play by Katie again to break that up. Katie moves it up, nice, chips it up down the ice. Ella's going to be first on the puck. Puck goes to the corner. Sacred Heart comes away with it. Around the boards to the other side. Ella enters the zone with the puck to Daisy. Daisy can't get the shot away. Nice work by Daisy battling there. To Daisy. Back to the point to number 6. Shoots it back into the corner. Deflected in front. Yes. Keeps it in. Shot from Daisy. Big rebound. Nobody there. Oh, come on. We're getting called for these weak tripping calls. Number 14 going off. 2 minutes for tripping. Third power play of the game for Sacred Heart. Face off coming up to the right of Taylor. Lola to take the draw. Lola out there with Elizabeth and Aaliyah. Sacred Heart controls it, enters the zone. Nice work by St. Pete's to break that up. Can't move it out, kept in at the point. Shot. Doesn't get through, rebound. Sacred Heart scores on the rebound. Another power play goal. We're now 5-0, just under 17 minutes ago. Rolling on the draw. Face off controlled by Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart moves into the zone. Cuts the middle shot. Nice save by Taylor. Taylor hangs on for a face off. Just over 16 minutes to go now in the period. Face off coming up to the left of Taylor. Lola on the draw. Lola wins the face off back to Katie. Katie swings it back up to Lola. Lola gets it out. Nice work by Lola. Sacred Heart breaks that play up, gets it out. Swings it across the other side, but Lola's there to intercept. Lola's got a good head of steam, moving up the ice. Cuts to the middle, shot. Good shot by Lola, glove save by the goalie. Face off coming up in Sacred Heart zone to the right of the goalie. Leah on the draw. Face off controlled by Sacred Heart. Oh, intercepted by number 4. Tries to get it to Leah. Sacred Heart swings it around the other side. Number 14 there. Back to the point. Kept in nicely by Katie. St. Pete's fires it in around the boards. Number 4 there. Chips it behind the net. Sacred Heart moves it out. Move in on Taylor. Nice save by Taylor. Kept in at the line. Shots intercepted by Leah, and she backhands it out. Leah has the puck again, moving up the ice. Chips it into the zone. Defenseman clears it out temporarily. Leah gets it again, fires it in. St. Pete's goes off for a change. Nice play to keep it in at the line. The slot shot. Can't get through. Sacred Heart gets it out. St. Pete's fires it back in. Daisy on the forecheck. Sacred Heart chips it out down the ice. And on net. Goal by Sacred Heart. Thirteen and a half to go in the period. Score is now 6-0. Daisy on the draw. Daisy was the draw to Ella. Ella to the point. Nice play by Addie. Chips it to Ella. Ella can't get it out. Sacred Heart fires it in behind the net. Ryan there swings it around the boards. Sacred Heart controls it in the St. Pete zone. Back to the point. Nope. Sorry. Centers in front. Shot. Score is now 7-0. Roll on the draw. Face off controlled by Sacred Heart. Move it up the ice. No icing. Sacred Heart first on the puck. Player circles the zone. Lola hooks him off the puck. And we're getting called again. Unbelievable. Sacred Heart going on their fourth power play of the period. Leah on the draw. Nice face-off win by Leah. St. Pete swings it around the other side. Kept in by Sacred Heart. Player circles behind the net. Back to the point. Shot tipped in front. Nice play by the defenseman. Number 17 has it in the corner. Pinned along the boards there. Help her out. St. Pete's comes away with the puck. Nice play. Move it out. Move it out. That's it. Nice play. Number 14 moves it up the ice. Sacred Heart now comes away with it. Moves it out. Sacred Heart enters the zone. Player cuts to the middle. Can't get the shot away. Pass to the middle. Shot from the slot. Goes wide. And St. Pete's fires it down. Sacred Heart controls it. Player enters the zone. Leah on the forecheck. Centering pass. Nice play by Katie to fire it down the ice. Ella on the forecheck behind the net. Daisy there to back her up. Daisy intercepts it. Moves in. Shot. Oh, deflected. Just goes wide. Ella comes away with it. Here's the zone. Nice penalty coup by St. Pete's here. Oh, puck is just out. Katie fires it back in. Daisy on the forecheck. Sacred Heart gets it out. Nice play by Katie to break that up. And we're getting another penalty on the play. Seems like every stick infraction is going against us in this game. Hooking is the call. So St. Pete's is going to be down 2 players now. 5-on-3 power play for Sacred Heart. Daisy out there on the forecheck. One of the penalties is over. Lola's back on the ice. Sacred Heart controls behind the net. Back to the point. 2-3 shot. Nice play by Taylor to scoop that up. Eight minutes to go in the period. Face off coming up to the left of Taylor. Goal on the draw. Face off controlled by Sacred Heart back to the point. Swings it across the other side. Shot. Handled nicely by Taylor to the corner. Addy comes around it. Tries to get it out. Kept in at the line. Ryan behind the net, or under 17, sorry. Nice play to ice it down. 7.5 minutes to go in the period. St. Pete's still on the penalty kill. Pass intercepted by St. Pete's. Fired back in the zone. Addy keeps in at the line temporarily. Sacred Heart moves it out. Sacred Heart enters the zone. Can't get the shot away. Still controls the puck. Trying to mix center and pass to the slot. Shot. Nice shoulder save by Taylor. Another save. Nice play by Taylor. She hangs on for a face-off. Face-off to the right of Taylor. Leah to take the draw. Nice face-off win by Leah. Leah fires it off the glass around the boards. Not out. Sacred Heart shot from the point. Tip goes wide. Sacred Heart controls. Pass back to the point. Can't get the shot away. Sends it back to the corner. Shot. Nice save by Taylor. Rebound goes wide. Leah comes away with it. Taken away by Sacred Heart. Centering pass. Oh, nice play by the defenseman to break that up. Back to the point. Shot gets through. Rebound. Five and a half minutes to go in the period. Leah on the draw. Number 17 comes up the ice, enters the zone. Centers it in front. Broken up by Sacred Heart. They move it up the ice. Taken away by Ella. Nice play by number 17, fired in. I think that's Emma. Sacred Heart moves it up. Enters the zone. Nice play by number 14 to break that up. Kicks it up to Leah. Leah chips it off the boards and out. Sacred Heart tries it in behind the net. Up the middle, intercepted by Sacred Heart. Nice save by Taylor. They're all by herself. Nothing Taylor can do for these shots. 4 minutes to go in the period. Easy on the draw. Soft control by Sacred Heart. Easy on the forecheck. Sacred Heart moves it out. Enters the St. Pete's zone. Player goes wide. Centering pass. Shot just goes wide. Addy carries it up the ice. Chips it into the zone. Sacred Heart swings it around the other side. Daisy's there on the forecheck. Sacred Heart moves it out down the ice. 2-on-1. Cuts to the middle shot. Nice save by Taylor. Face off coming up to the left of Taylor. Lola out there to take the face off. Sacred Heart gets it to the point, moves in for a shot, deflected, handled nicely by Taylor for another face off. All right, we'll do it again. Face off to the left of Taylor. Lola wins the draw this time, back to Katie. Katie moves it up to Lola. Lola enters the zone. Come on. Obstructed, but no penalty. Shot down the ice. Ice seems to call. 1 minute 45 to go in the period. Face off coming up in the Sacred Heart zone. You take the draw out there with Leah. Katie on the fence. Face off comes back to Katie. Shot. Kept in at the line. Pass to the corner to the other side. Number 13 gets it to Lola. Chips it back to number 13. Back to the point to Katie. Katie moves in for a shot. Just goes wide. One in the middle to Lola. Shot goes wide by Lola. Sacred Heart swings it across to the other side. And they're going to move it out. Backhand pass to the middle. St. Pete's breaks that up. Number 5 now has it along the boards. Carries it behind their net. And St. Pete's moves it out. 30 seconds to go in the game. Sacred Heart enters the zone. Nice work by Lola in the corner to break that up. Back to the point. And Lola gets it out. Ella takes it away. Ella moves in. Can't get the shot away. And that's the game.